Hi, welcome. Thank you for coming. Welcome to my Take Me With You song release show. This is going to be really exciting. We're going to sit together, hang out for the next hour, and we're building up to when my lyric video comes out in exactly 1 hour. So don't go anywhere. We'll be watching it together right at the end as this all comes together. So yeah, if you missed it, the song is called Take Me With You. Yes, I made this. We've gone for a very DIY approach this time, which we love because I think that I wanted something that felt really personal and homemade, because that's kind of my feeling around the song. Like, it has that really big feeling of nostalgia and just kind of comfort. So make sure that you go grab a cup of tea or a cup of coffee if it's not like 11 p.m. like it is for me. Grab a blanket if you're cold. If you're boiling in the summer, then you're good to go. Just like get ready to chill out. We're gonna have a great time. So here's one thing that I want to show you. This is, yes, it's a blank piece of paper, you are correct. This is how I made my lyric video, and we're going to look into that a little bit deeper. But first, I basically just want to give you an intro on what's about to happen.
I wanna make it through, wanna get through the day, but sometimes it's hard and even harder to say. Can you see me now? I will make you proud.
Did you like the little intro? I made that myself. I thought it would be a fun way to set the scene. Anyway, so the structure of today, for those of you who like structure, maybe you want to know the running order. For those of you who like to be surprised, just mute this for like 20 seconds. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the song concept and share some details about the EP that it's a part of, because this is actually a pre-release track, and also going to talk to you a bit about nostalgia and some of the inspirations behind the song and the reason that we made the creative decisions that we did. And then within that, I'm going to actually play you something. So I've arranged this like mashup medley idea of a few different kind of nostalgic songs, and I'll explain that when we get to it, but it's pretty cool, so you should definitely stay around for that. And then I'm going to play you a little teaser to do with the EP, and that's just a complete spoiler, only available here. And then what have we got? I'm going to talk to you actually about the lyric video itself and how we've made it. I've got my notes here in case you're wondering what I'm doing. And yeah, I've got a few different kind of bits and pieces. I already showed you my big paper. So I've also got some lyrics written out, and we're going to kind of go through, do a bit of a breakdown, and then I've got a behind the scenes video I'm going to play you as like a VT. And during that time, I'll respond to any comments or questions if you've got them in the chat. So make sure that you do leave some questions, say hi to each other, tell me where you're tuning in from. Like, don't give me your address because that's very bad for privacy reasons, but tell me, for example, your country. I'm quite curious. I want to know whether you're like half asleep right now, or whether it's your lunch break, or you're having your morning coffee, or you're like, you just got back from school. What is happening? What is happening in the life of you? Because really, the song and life in general, watch me go on a completely irrelevant rant, is all about connection, you know? So basically, yeah, I want to talk to you, interact, otherwise it's no fun. Cool, thank you. My energy right now is so chaotic. I should maybe stop releasing these at midnight, but it's fine. We're doing what we're doing. And you know what? I'm really excited. I think this is going to be great. I'm really excited for you to actually hear a happy song. In fact, yeah, this is a good time. Let's talk about the concept of the song. Yeah, after we talk about the lyrics, by the way, at the end, there'll be a little Q&A section for those of you who submitted questions, and then we're going to watch the lyric video all together. The video will redirect, so stay exactly where you are, and we'll watch that when it hits midnight in UK time. Yeah, back to my mind is boggling right now. Back to my point. So, this song is a happy song. Now, I was really proud of myself for this, because if you've heard any of my other originals that I shared back in the day on YouTube, or even if you've heard my first 2 songs, Till It Fades Away and Make You Proud. What, did I just get my own song name wrong? It's fine. Let's move on. Let me know if your mood is chaotic as I'm feeling today. Yeah, even with those songs, there was an optimistic sort of feeling to them, but it was about more of a sad or a somber topic. This song it's got its underlying uncertainty, because it's about a relationship that feels kind of perfect, but feels like maybe there is friction, there is conflict. And it's kind of about, okay, how do we navigate that as a couple when the conflict is kind of coming from outside sources? That's what I wrote it in mind of. And obviously to you, it may feel like anything else, and that's also completely valid. So I'm not going to talk too much about like my specific situation or what I wrote about, but I think the main feeling I wanted to give is really that overriding feeling of hope and optimism, and that message that you can always choose to look on the brighter side and to kind of make the decisions for yourself that will leave you with the least regret, I guess, in a way. I guess that's still framing it with some sort of negativity in mind, but I feel like that's the best way it's coming to me right now. And to put this in context with the rest of the EP, so the EP will be 6 songs. I don't think I've announced this anywhere publicly yet. So yeah, the EP is coming next month. This song is a pre-release track, so Take Me With You will be on the EP, as well as my first 2 tracks, Till It Fades Away and Make You Proud, and 3 other songs as well. And we're just in the final stages wrapping that up and getting it all ready to go. And it's really exciting. It's coming together to be a body of work that every song is very distinctive, but it kind of makes sense together, which is obviously the goal. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. And I do think that as the songs on the album go, Take Me With You is definitely the most like hopeful. It's got that really pure, lovely energy. And in keeping with that, I really wanted to capture that feeling with the production. So I actually co-produced this song, which is really cool. It's the first song that I've co-produced. So we talked a lot about the style of pop we wanted to go in, and I think that I had that feeling writing this track that was just so overridingly optimistic, like we can face any obstacle and get through it. It just reminded me of a more like a younger self, childhood mindset. And I think I wanted to capture that. Like, I love artists like Jessie McCartney, Hannah Montana, Demi Lovato, and like a lot of these artists are still around now. Like Taylor Swift is still doing amazingly. But that core feeling of the sort of teenage Disney style sound, I guess. So I've actually prepared a little mashup or a medley of songs that I feel I drew inspiration from in terms of the sound and more like the vibe. I listened to these back after we'd finished the song and thought, actually, these feel like they fit together. There's a lyrical thread and there's a sort of common theme. I'll let you hear for yourself. So I'm going to play this for you. Just going to check. Hopefully this mic will, I'm going to change the setting so you can hear me through the mic. Okay. So yeah, let me know how many of the songs you recognize in this. We're going to kind of cycle through, I think 10 in here, so let me know if you get all 10. You can grade yourself in the comments. Yeah, please talk to each other, it's more fun that way. If you're shy, ignore me, it's fine. You can be introverted, it's all good, but it does make it more fun if we talk. Now, having said that, I'm going to stop talking. Let me play you this. Are we good? I think we're good. Squeezing you to
my life away. But these things I'll never say. I don't want another pretty face. I don't want just anyone to hold. I don't want my love to go to waste. I want you and you're beautiful, so you're the one I wanna chase. You're the one I wanna hold. I won't let another minute go to waste. I want you and you're beautiful, so just so you know, this feeling's taking control of me, and I can't help it. I won't sit around, I can't let it win now. Thought you should know, I tried my best to let go of you, and I don't want to. I just gotta say it all before I go. Just so you know. Just so you know. I can't stand these four walls without you inside them, and build us a castle, then leave me in silence. What if I tangle some rope around your feet into the ocean, 'cause I'm in too deep. Do you remember we were sitting there by the water? You put your arms around me for the first time. You made a rebel of a careless man's careful daughter. You are the best thing that's ever been mine. Don't wanna break your heart, wanna give your heart a break. I know you're scared it's wrong, like you might make a mistake. That's just one life to live, and there's no time to wait, to wait. So let me give your heart a break, give your heart a break. Let me give your heart a break, your heart a break. And make me kiss you, make me kiss you, make me touch you, make me touch you, make me want you, make me want you. Could kiss you to touch you or want you, make me love you, make me love you, make me love you, make me, yeah. Because you live and breathe, because you make me believe in myself when nobody else can help. Because you live, girl, my world has twice as many stars in the sky. And so I know it's hard for you, but just know I'm struggling too. So hold me a little closer in your heart and take me with you.
Okay, I hope you really enjoyed that. Let me know how many of the songs you recognized, and if they're songs that you enjoy. Hopefully they are. Either way, you'd still have to listen to my new song because we're already partway through and you're committed now. Just so that we're all aware, just so you know, as Jesse McCartney would say. Anyway. Yeah, while we're on the topic of playing things, doing performances, and giving some little teasers, there is another thing I wanted to play for you, which is a spoiler for my EP. So I arranged this piano thing. You may have actually heard the first draft. There was a handful of maybe like 30 people who listened to this piano teaser I put on YouTube and Spotify, and then I took it down. And it was playing some melodies from I think 4 of the tracks on the EP, maybe 5, but there was a 6th one that I added later. So I've kind of updated this. This is only available here. I'm not going to put this anywhere. I don't have a plan to do that. So yeah, enjoy. See if you can pick out which melodies have come from the tracks that are already out and which ones might be new themes from new songs, and that will be your little clue as to what to expect. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. let me know what you think, and if you have any ideas now about what the EP is going to be like. I don't know if that really gave much away. I kind of didn't want it to give it too much away, so I guess it's good if it worked out like that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed those little spoilers. I'm gonna switch back. Have we switched back? Okay, I think we're on normal audio again now. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me see what our next order of service is, because I think I'm about to show you some of the lyrics and like the scrapbooking style. So, sorry. I don't know if you saw any of like my initial like teaser things or whether you were here right when this live stream started, but I basically made the whole lyric video just with this. And I printed out some pictures, like some of my concept photos. Let me show you. So we've got some different photos, and then I also had a couple of little drawings that I did. Like, this is very DIY. I don't consider myself an artist per se, but I actually really enjoyed doing this sort of thing. Like, I've been getting quite into bullet journaling and basically just things that make me connect a little bit more, things that feel like they're creative in a different way. And being able to, yeah, express that side of myself in maybe like just a fun or kind of childlike way, I guess. I don't think that I'm an artist who could ever do like a really realistic sort of painting, so leaning into this type of thing that I find fun to look at, like a really cartoony flower, you know, it's just very fun. And so I kind of, well, you'll see in a minute, I'm gonna actually play you behind the scenes, but basically we've got a few different lyrics. Another spoiler for the song. Woo! Yeah, so I was kind of holding them up like this. Anyway, you're literally about to see a video, so I won't go on about this for too long. But, oh my gosh, how do I put this back? Yes. Something that I thought would be really fun is to break down a few of the lyrics at random, because they're all cut out into different segments at like one line or half a line each. So I thought that it would be really cool to show you it like that. So let's pick, oh, that was the one I was just holding. Let's pick one at random. I'm going to grab the whole pile. So as you may see, until I've completely dropped things, which is a bit sad, we've got a whole thing of like lyrics and pictures, and they're falling everywhere, so this is really well planned. So okay, let's like turn this over, pick at random because I don't want to be misleading. Okay, so the first lyric, we're going to do 3 of these. I just prefer this fantasy. So that's a lyric that's in verse 1. And I actually really wanted to lean into this fantasy element. I had some ideas for like a music video. We haven't got a music video yet, but it's something that I'm discussing. We may end up making one later, or like a short visualizer, because I think this song is really suited to like having a visual. But anyway, in general, in the photos and the feeling of everything I've released so far about the song, I've tried to lean into that idea of creating a fantastical world. It's kind of a little bit like the nostalgia I mentioned with that childlike joy. It's about creating that completely safe, like fairy tale-like feeling. Just the fact of like a glitter-coated surface of, you know, everything is perfect. And why wouldn't I choose to live in that sort of world? You know, why wouldn't I create and cultivate the mindset for myself where I can have that outlook that everything is going to work out, and kind of almost romanticizing your own life. I don't know if you've seen, there's been a lot of stuff on the internet over like the past year or so about romanticizing your own life and doing it in a way that isn't kind of too crazy, but just like giving yourself the small pleasures in life. And I think that's really beautiful, and that's something I kind of want to lean into more. So, okay. The next one I picked up was literally just the song name, so we're going to do something more interesting than that. Let's see. Random. I should have like numbered these or something so you could pick them. Okay. Ooh. I want to drown in your perfume. Morbid if you read it out of context. Literally just, yeah, there's not too much to say about this one. Just, you know, when I think so much of memory and like comfort can also be associated with smell. So that feeling of like finding somebody who's really your safe space, and knowing that like when they're kind of all around you in the air, this sounds like really abstract and weird, but yeah, then that's just your feeling of like the utmost happiness. Okay, Final lyric, let's go. I don't like that lyric, there's not anything to say. I'm cheating, I'm sorry, I'm cheating with my own rules. Okay. Okay, I don't know what I will do. So, this is part of a longer line. And this comes right at the end. I'm trying not to give too much away, it's hard. This is kind of almost the opposite of the fantasy line. It's that crash back to reality of, okay, I guess there is actually a possibility that this won't last. And what will I do then? Anyway, that's enough negativity for now. Let's play the video back of making the lyric video so you can kind of see a bit more what to expect. And remember not to go anywhere because we're going to watch it together as soon as the song drops in not very long. I'll need to check the time. Let's do some journaling. What did you think of the lyric video making video? I just said video twice, but that's cool. I feel like I've been moving around a lot in these breaks. I had to go plug in my camera, but hopefully we're all good. I also wanted to let you know before we move on to the Q&A that these little pieces of paper where I show you the different lyrics, I'm actually going to be passing these around at my live shows, and also the first few orders of my EP. So any that haven't run out from the live shows will be in those first few orders, just because I think it's quite a nice, I mean, these are all handwritten and it's part of the video, and I just thought it was a nice little bonus because, to be honest, what else am I going to do with them now? So at least this way it maybe goes to someone who has started to form a connection with the song. So yeah, if you are interested, this is just a little freebie, but yeah, make sure that you come up to see me if you come to my shows, and otherwise, yeah, get in there first with the pre-orders once the EP orders come up, and you'll get this as a little bonus. There'll be other things included too, but yeah, I just wanted to make you aware. Cool. I'm gonna bring out my notebook here. I've written down a few questions that you sent in advance. I was told when I look down without you being able to see the notebook, it seems a little bit strange, so we are learning. Cool. So the first question that I have is, describe your song in emojis. So if you are signed up to my newsletter, or if you've seen basically any of my social media promo stuff, then you'll have seen me using like the falling leaves emoji a lot. This is me trying to demonstrate that, yeah, the falling leaves. So, you know what, it sounds cringe, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It's like, falling leaves, is it that different from falling in love? You know, there's a sort of link there that makes so much sense in my head, and there's something really magical to be said about the connection to nature and the connection to other humans, the evolution that we all go through. Like, all of us can individually be a little root in a garden and just kind of trying to grow and learn and look at all of the other trees around us, until eventually, when we connect with others, we become a whole forest. And I just think that it's a really good metaphor for the sort of relationship building, whether that's romantic or otherwise, to really talk about the evolution that we all go through, because honestly every person changes over time, and people may drift and other people may come together, and a lot of it, I think, especially as you start to get older, is about intentionality and who are the branches you're keeping close together. I don't know, this is stretching too far. This metaphor is, I think, run to its end, but yeah, I think you get me. I think it brings me that sense of peace. The surroundings of, nature, comfort, love, enjoyment, and focusing on that sort of fairy tale ending. That's how it feels to me. If we were going to talk about an overall emoji, I feel like it would be more like the glitter one. But then I saw recently that ChatGPT includes glitter emojis in everything. So now I'm like, does that mean I shouldn't use it all the time? Like, I like adding a little bit of sparkle, you know? So anyway, internal dilemma. Let me know what your favorite emoji is as well. I'm actually very curious. And once you do hear the song, or if you know enough from the preview, like if you pre-saved the song, you'll have had a 1-minute preview already. So I'm kind of curious if you would have picked a different emoji for this one. Like, the emoji I picked really relates to the album artwork, kind of more than anything else. So yeah, I'm just a little bit curious about that. Okay, next question is, what is your favorite lyric? Oh, okay, so this is obviously a little bit different to the lyric breakdown I did earlier, because this is which one is actually my favorite rather than picking it at random. And I feel like every time I listen, or at least every week, it kind of shifts, because the way that I relate to the song and what I sing about is going to be subtly different each time, and it has kind of shifted also since I wrote it. But I think my current favorite lyric is "Love me while you can still be mine." I think it's I mean, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I like the feeling that it gives of being able to stay focused on someone and basically make the most of a moment that you aren't sure how long it's going to last, but you kind of go all in and decide to just enjoy it for everything that it is anyway. That's something that I'm kind of trying to take with me in my daily life, and make sure that I'm making the most of opportunities and not getting lost in the past, but also not getting too lost in the future. Not wondering all the time about where something's going to lead, when you could just be enjoying the moment. And I've had occasions before where I've spent so long worrying about something that ends up not really being relevant. Like, I was worrying about what I was going to do in a certain relationship when this one milestone hits, and then we didn't even stay talking, reaching until that point, and like, you know, worrying about where my next career moves would be, and then something comes up that I hadn't even considered that ends up being perfect for me. So it's kind of like reminding myself as well, yes, some things are finite, but that's not necessarily always negative. Sometimes things and even people come into your life to like serve you, and you know, you bring each other something for a certain period of time. And I think, I don't know, I feel like I'm making this really serious when it doesn't need to be, but you know, that's been my mentality, is trying to appreciate things as they are and not worry too much about whether it is finite or whether it will be lifelong. Just really appreciating it in the moment and recognizing that later on, in retrospect, even if something doesn't last forever, does that mean that it wasn't worth it? Like, I think that's a very different question. So yeah, that would be my answer for that one. Let me know as well if you have a favorite lyric so far. I'm literally going to put all these questions back at you, so yeah. Let's check the next one. So I was asked, let me phrase that better. I heard that you were a co-producer on this track. Can you tell me a bit more about the process and your involvement? So yes. So I'm really excited about this. I think I mentioned it briefly earlier, that I am a co-producer on this track, and it was really, really exciting to be a part of that process. So I wasn't initially planning to co-produce, so I actually started this off with a producer who I've worked with previously, who does amazing work, and we kind of affirmed the main direction, got like a few bass lines down, not bass, like B-A-S-E, like the base, the foundation, for the chorus, and figured out some of the direction. And then I basically received all of the stems from him, and he was working on some of his own projects and didn't really have the time to commit to it because I knew I wanted to put it out this year. So I took it and built it up with the sounds that he'd found, added a couple of extra things that I found on my own as well, and really like rearranged, moved everything around, chopped up different sound bites, and tried to shift everything into something that felt really genuine to me. Like, where did I want the song to go? What did I want it to do? And because he'd done all of this work in kind of finding the right vibe, like the drum beats, the sound of everything kind of matched to me, but I played around with like, okay, I feel like these drums should come in the bridge but also start in the intro. That's a spoiler as well. Spoiling everything. But yeah, I mean, you get the idea. So it was a really, really good experience. I think when I started to co-produce it, I felt a little bit overwhelmed. Like, am I qualified to do this? I've done some producing, like beginner production before. I did a course, I've played around with it a bit and made demos for a couple of my other songs. So I kind of knew-ish what I was doing, but I wasn't super confident. And then I sent the track to a mixer, who basically said, okay, I think this production maybe needs some work. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Like, what do you think needs to be done? And then actually we kind of got to the bottom of it. And in terms of like song arrangement and everything, I was like, I'm happy with this. Like, I want to polish it, but I like how it is. I don't want it to be wildly different. Like, this is my vision. This represents my vision. And so my mixer ended up saying, well, actually, cool, let's work with this then. And I think the only thing they ended up correcting was like one of the drum beats sounded a little bit out, and they shifted that along. And then other than that, it was like, okay, actually your production was fine, it was just the mixing was terrible, which was so funny. But yeah, everyone has different skill sets, right? So we need to come together to all be able to create something that feels like really polished and really professional. And I've been enjoying working with other people who have expertise in those areas, because honestly, I would love to be able to produce some more of my own tracks and be able to have that creative expression, and that's something I'm working towards. But especially on the mixing and mastering side, it's that's not really a focus for me right now. So if you don't know, also, if you're not a musician, and I'm using these terms randomly, production and arrangement are nowadays often the same thing, but they're also a bit different. So what I do for all my tracks is I write the song, which for me involves playing the piano, figuring out the chords, the lyrics, the melody, the harmonies, the sort of foundation of the song, if you will. And then the arranger and sometimes the producer will basically add all of the instruments and kind of create an arrangement of layers that fits the flow of the song. At least this is the process I work on. Not everyone starts with songwriting first, but that's how I work. And then the producer is kind of in charge of the actual, like, how the sound is recorded and how it comes out. So modern day producers will often arrange as well, but they'll also add different effects onto the sounds. And then mixing is kind of gluing all of the layers together, and mastering is like this secret art which makes it sound even better. I'm not qualified to talk to you about mastering, but yeah, if I use these terms randomly a bit later on as well, that's what it means. And yeah, so basically I was able to get involved in another part of the process than what I'm usually involved in, and I feel like maybe because of that I have an even deeper connection with the song, because I know that I played a big part in what it's ended up becoming, and so it feels even more personal to me now when somebody says that they like it. And I mean, I like it, so that's that's enough. I'm going to listen to it, but obviously you want to make something that people are going to listen to and people are going to enjoy. So that's been a really, really, really cool experience. I'm sorry if I rambled massively on that. So next question, let's see. Is there a K-pop vibe to this track? There isn't like as much of a K-pop vibe to this track as there was in, for example, Till It Fades Away, but I think that it still comes through a little bit. It's just it's maybe more of like a K-pop soloist sort of vibe, or artists like Ailey, Taeyeon, even some of Rose's stuff, or B2B, because it is a little bit more ballady. But I think in some of the production decisions there is still that influence. So I guess also you can be the judge of that when you hear the audio. So I'm kind of curious what you think about that. Talking of which, actually, I mean, I'm guessing I feel like I kind of know the general vibe of people who will be here because I've talked to a lot of you already in messages and sometimes in real life. And I feel like I'm kind of understanding what things that you listen to generally, like which other artists you like, because it's not necessarily going to be the same as me, and I listen to so much stuff. But I'm curious, if we haven't had that conversation already, like who are your favorite artists and what are your favorite genres even? Like, are you a massive K-pop fan and that's how you found me? Are you more into like oldies pop, or like what's your story? I'm just kind of interested to know where the crossover is. So yeah, I'm kind of curious about that. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? We've got a couple more questions, but I'm not sure of what the time is right now. So I think we've actually got a short other behind the scenes video that we can play, and I'm just going to check on what time we've got left and if we can maybe do something special to fill it. Okay, see you in a sec. Okay, I've just been given some quick fire questions to finish things off, so let's go. If you were an ice cream, what would you be? Mint chocolate chip, something sweet and fun and refreshing. If you ate food with this song, what would it be? I feel like something indulgent and like hearty, something in like indulgent meal for an indulgent song, like a noodle dish, maybe ramen, or like a really hearty soup. What does this song smell like? It smells like fun and joy and comfort and damp rain. If you collabed on this song with someone who was your top pick, probably Rose would be like top pick. If you had to pick someone, oh, that was it. How many songs are on the EP? Six songs on the EP. If this song, Take Me With You, were a K-drama, what would it be? Probably Crash Landing on You, or something easily as like cringy and fun and like overly optimistic. If Take Me With You were a self-help book, what would it be called? Stop Getting in Your Own Way. And when is the lyric video coming out? Now, in like 2 minutes. It's coming out now. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending the last like 45 minutes or hour with me, however long it's been. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day. Let's go watch the video. Don't go anywhere. This video is going to redirect as soon as I end this, then it's going to direct you straight to the lyric video. So don't go anywhere, and I'm going to see you in just a second, and you're going to hear this very much in its kind of official, fully produced form.